Welcome to another episode of Limitless Talks, where there is no limit on what we say, and kind of what we say is our own experience, our own understanding, and kind of how we perceive looking from the outside in. In terms of today's special guest, he has really been an inspiration in not only my fitness journey, but definitely a lot of people out there. He's known as the Sauna King. He's known as he's known as an individual where consistency, mindset, mentality comes to a place where you out there could basically feel the need to push for yourself. So other than that, bringing on to the second episode of Limitless Talks, we have Vijay. Yes, sir. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, brother. I'm quite grateful to be here, just by your side, meeting you in the sauna at Manukau and now sitting next to you and just like seeing your journey, Like it's mean, bro. It's mean. Like I'm proud of you. Like it's a privilege to be here, man.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. But in terms of like how we kind of met in that sauna, that's where I'm just like, damn, who would have thought, two boys would have met at the gym, met in the sauna,
100%.
Sitting here right now, talking to you guys out there, the people. But yeah, kind of like before we kind of kick things off, just kind of want to know a bit about you, man. Just, give us a quick rundown.
Sweet. Just a rundown about me. Yeah. So, okay, my background, I'm Punjabi Indian. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was born in India. I came to New Zealand when I was 3. Pretty much moved here with my mum at first, and then Dad came down as well, and then pretty much we just lived in a single house down in Pukekohe, and so did all my schooling in Puke.
Oh man,
and so I grew up a very traditional Indian, so my mum's still very traditional as well, and and I've got a younger brother, 2 younger brothers as well, and so we've just been brought up in this Indian family and just gone through life in Pukekohe, where our friends are quite got a multicultural group, and if you know Pukekohe, it's quite a tight knit group, There's everyone knows everyone, and so I've been brought up in Puke, and so pretty much did my schooling in Puke. After high school, pretty much left high school, I went into some labor work, and then from there I transitioned off into the army.
Oh wait, but before you get into the army, what school in Puke did you go to?
So I went to Pukekohe High School. That was my high school years. I didn't pass anything there. Turned up. That's the main thing.
Same, bro. I didn't pass anything at school as well.
But I'm grateful for that journey. At least I know I finished school. That's what matters the most.
As they say, the most successful ones come out without passing anything back in school. So
that's the one.
That's a sign.
Hold up.
And taking us through the army. So
So I pretty much left school. Did about 3 years in labor work, and kind of what I picked up on that was it's the same stuff. Every day going on. Weekends were the same, didn't know what routine looked like. And I just had this, one of my friends' dads just said, hey, the boys, things going to the army, one of my good mates. And I was like, oh yeah. And then straight away after that, heard that, boom, went home, jumped online and just started looking into the army because I wanted to follow his lead. And I really had no support. I just did it all myself because, if you, as you know, Indian family coming from India, very modern way of living, 9 to 5 job, doing these things, and so I just pretty much said, okay, I'm gonna go because I need to do something different, and just applied myself, and pretty much took me about 7 months to get in.
Oh man.
So 7 months, got into the army, and I went, from there I was in the army for about 12 years.
Sheesh.
So I did a good stint in the NZ Defence Force, so that was grateful for that stint as well.
How come it takes you 7 months to get into the army?
So the process is quite a long process. So there's a lot of security, there's a lot of logistics stuff, admin stuff, that you've got to go through, and a lot of it can come back to you. So you've got to it's a backwards forwards kind of things that you got to do. But like I said, if you just do it once, do it right, it'll go through. So that was So that was me. So I pretty much just went into the army when I was roughly about 21ish. And did that for a good stint, and learned
12 years later.
12 years later, here I am.
Yes, sir.
Back up.
The army journey, has it been a good journey though?
So army taught me a lot about myself. I went in there quite vulnerable, so obviously didn't know what fitness was. Didn't know what fit looked like. Thought lifting some weights at the gym was looking healthy and fit, but then I didn't realize that cardiovascular endurance and all that stuff came into it as well. So and I had there was a few times through my basic training. So basic training's the first 3 months. First 3 months that you get initiated into the army. So it's like a where you just go and learn about being a soldier.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, and so the first few times we did some long distance running and stuff. I really, I was that guy. I was that guy that was quite slow, and I felt a lot of pain in my body, and I felt uncomfortable. I felt weak.
yeah,
And so during those times when I was doing that, I still remember those moments, and and I always told myself when I was in those moments, I'll never want to be in the moment again, and just figure out how I could get out of it, And so I learned a lot in that first, 12 weeks being in the army and stuff like that. And then I tried to, going through that, then as I got into the army and became a soldier, I started learning about myself and, trying to figure out avenues to not be that guy again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from the army, then basically came out 12 years later?
Yeah, 12 years later. So I just came out. So just with the army as well, I've done a lot of things. So I have deployed overseas, I've been an instructor at recruit training. You know, I've been a section commander, so it's a corporal. So I've qualified to section commander, so I've done that for a few years as well. I got corporal within 5.5 years, so normally takes about 8. So there was a lot of us, some of the boys say, well, it's a lolly scramble. We probably think, yeah, it could be. But I think just a lot of us did work hard. We were just yes men. So we just kind of got told, do this, we'll do that, We would just listen and do the work,
Just
and
follow the structure that they already placed there.
Yeah, so if they say do this, we'll just follow the lead and go, yes, sergeant, and go and get it done, And that's how we'll just kind of do life. And that's the best way to do it. Otherwise, you'll be targeted,
100%.
Yeah, so you'll be known as that guy or, watch out.
Within the army?
Army, yeah, so it's quite hard. So, yeah, so, and a lot of the bros will know about that too, quite openly. And, been overseas. I've done a lot of instructing on it. I've worked with high-risk adults in there as well. I work with high-risk youth as well. And then, there's a time and a place where I thought it's time to transition out, and that moment came to me when I networked with someone, then I went into becoming a high school teacher.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
giving back to the community.
So, yeah, but everything in the army, like I really, I learned a lot in there, just some of the, the way I am now and the way I do things now,
Are the trainings as hard as people say?
They are hard, but I think anyone can do them.
Yeah.
It's just understanding. I think it's the whole dynamic of the army. It's tough. It's actually, if you just put your mind to it and you get the right support around you, you can do it, And that's one like philosophy I kind of bring into my well-being now is like, making it a safe space here, it's not, there's not like take the whole masculinity out of it, and that, you can do whatever you want if you just actually get the right guidance towards it. And give it a good go. Yeah, there were times that were tough, but that was really down to you as a person and how you lived your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
So times being tough and the way you kind of live your lifestyle did play a big part from when you're in the army to how you're living it now?
No, yeah, definitely, 100%. Like, all those, like, I think just, with the army as well, there's a lot of, you'll have there's a lot of set, good things and bad things you can take from it,
Yeah.
And
it's all how you kind of perceive it in terms of your perspective there.
Yeah, and like, and I think for us in this generation, I think the boys that are doing it now, we've kind of taken on, like, we're trying to give back of what we didn't get, where we didn't get that, like, that actually, like, you can do it, that, like, like giving that guidance, And
that self inner motivation, could you say?
Yeah, 100%, the explain, demonstrate, practice stuff, like, it's just go and do that. It's like, hey, what do we need to do, like. Yeah, so.
It's putting a direction in plan pretty much.
That's it, 100%, yeah. But definitely grateful for that journey.
12 years in the army, I definitely would have been quite an experience, mentally, physically, leading towards where you're going from the army out to where you are now in terms of the fitness industry.
Definitely, yeah. I think mentally it was, because for myself, obviously in the first 12 weeks where I kind of hit rock bottom a few times with regards to fitness, there were times in the army where like I was like, I didn't want to be that guy, so I'd start like training 3 or 4 times a day.
Oh wow!
So that'll be before work, after work, during work.
Is that when you left? Sorry, the army.
No, when I was in the army as
well.
When
you're in the army,
yep. And it got to an extent where it kind of got really unhealthy for me because that's all I did.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I wasn't training to be like I was just training because I wanted to train and get fitter.
Yeah.
And there was and like I'll be countering all my trainings and stuff like that, but I did it for so long that I just got used to it. And that's all we did. you know, and we just did it for so long and long and long. But we did, like, what I didn't know at the time was it was actually getting unhealthy, you know.
Yeah, because it'd be training the mind in a, well, depending on how you kind of take that fitness and the mindset behind it,
Definitely.
will train that mind and cultivate it in a different way, pretty much.
Different way, yeah. And then when we'll leave the army and come back into society, it'll be different for us.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't know what to do, because we wouldn't have our like the boys around us, you know.
Yeah.
The people that know us would have people that are like quite chilled and vibey, and they'll be like, oh, like, what are we doing? Like,
it's like a lifestyle you're not used to.
That's
because you're always like pushing that standard and 100%.
That's it. And that was it. Like, you know, we'll like be home for a day, and then we'll be like, well, I'm going to the gym. 5 hours later, come back. Okay, what do I do now? You know, and then you just want to go back.
Oh wow.
To a safe space.
Yeah.
That's literally like, you know, that's what some of the patterns that I picked up now.
Nice.
That I didn't pick up before, you know.
Is that safe space?
Yeah, like, yeah, because I used to always go back because no one knew where I was, and I'd just be in my own safe space, and that's all I do, you know. And then so that's what I was so that's what there was a lot of things that I was doing probably not very healthy, but it looked healthy at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and then now, like, you know, leaving there and coming into this space now, working with people and stuff like that, like, I realize, like, you know, it really wakes me up now, you know, like just seeing
the whole change
it, the energy shift, and how things should be done in a safe, well managed, healthy way, you know.
Because like from going to the army into what you're doing now within the youth work, how did you, or like what was the first kind of decision you kind of made to jump in that journey? Like why was the reason, or like?
So my shift for youth work was, I think, for myself. So I'll just start going back. Like, I think for me, I didn't have any masculine energy around me to support me, like, regards, you know, in the army it was quite masculine. I'm not even going to lie. Like, you know, if you're a skinny young Indian guy in there, it's very masculine. There's a lot of big, strong looking, you know, brothers in there. They're all good. Like, they're awesome. But it's very masculine. And I was always like, man, I want to be strong. I want to be fit. I want to be fast. I want to do this. I want to do that. You know, and I never want to back down. And then I always thought, that's it. I just had to work. I just keep working and working and working. And then, but, you know, in that time, but you wouldn't get gratitude. You'd be like, yeah, you're fit, but that's about it, you know. And then over time, it got real unhealthy, you know. And then I realized that, you know, like, it's good to be fit, healthy, this and that, but like, end of the day, if you're mentally tough and stuff, when you go to the bush, you know, you can do your things. But when you're coming back into like a normal life, what you'll be doing is you're literally, if things aren't going right at home, like within your, you know, normal life, you'll just go back and everything will be forgotten about, and you'll just carry on your routine, and then it, you know, it gets to that
point where you start to burn out.
Yeah, that's it. And, you know, and then, like, you know, everything else gets forgotten about in life, you know, like, you know,
like the things that you reckon would probably get forgotten in life will probably be the mental well-being of things, eh?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So mental well-being, I think a lot of the time I've forgotten a lot of moments, you know, that I could have had.
Like moments with family,
friends,
yourself, friends?
And myself as well, and being at home and just being grateful, you know, like, I took this for granted, like, you know, I'll just come back and I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna train, you know, and then, like, you know, I could have done that in the army, you know, and then, you know, if things aren't going right at home, oh yeah, I'm gonna go train, you know.
Would it be more of like training would probably been like, as you mentioned before, would be your safe space, but it was like a way for you just to escape reality.
That's it, you know. You know, and it'll be like, yeah, I'm getting paid, I'm all good, I'm on holiday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sweet, I'm just gonna go and train, and that's all I do. All I do constantly, like, there'll be no emotion coming out, there'll just be just training, and that's all I do. And then like, you know, if I kind of got overwhelmed in it, then I'll just go back. And then I'll be gone again, and then I'll just train even more, you know.
So in terms of like how you were feeling in that type of moment, would that probably be the time when you kind of had that shift to wanting to work with the youth as well, just to get a whole better understanding on the whole atmosphere community wise?
Yeah, because
within your own experience.
Yeah, because once I transitioned and moved to Auckland, I started to understand what it felt like to live a normal life, you know. Because being in the base, it was quite structured. It was very
the base Hamilton.
Base in down Palmerston North.
Oh yeah,
it's very closed. You know, you can't really, no one can go in there. But like, it's very structured. There's a lot of like this, like, you can't do much stuff, you know.
Yeah,
you can go to the gym, you can do this, you can do that, but like, it's very closed. No one knows what's going on, you know. You're just chilling in your room. You know, you'll get up in the morning, do your routines, your food's made for you, you just do, you know, get all that stuff done. It's really up to you what you do, you know.
Gee.
Yeah, and so doing that for a long time, you know, I was like, man, this is not. I need to make a shift, you know.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at other opportunities around. So like once we got promoted, we had to look at other opportunities to go move around. And then so what I realized, I want to get close to my family. That'll be a good change for me, you know. So what we so we'll apply for like a few other jobs within the army. So there was like a job where it's called limited service volunteer, where you look after you know, non-motivated adults, like adults that need guidance and life experience guidance. And yeah, it's done at Whanaopai. So we kind of, then me and a few of my mates, we moved down there. So we were all together. It was quite good.
Yeah.
And then we jumped into that space, and that space really like worked me up. Yeah, because like we're having adults that need the push, that motivation, that need that, you know, that someone that leads by example.
Nice.
And then yeah, so like I thought, like, you know, to obviously being fit is a key factor to it, but obviously, you know, practicing what you preach and stuff like that, and like, you know, leading by example, like how you dress and all these things. So yeah, so like that space kind of really motivated me, because when I was going there doing those courses, yeah, I could, a lot of the young people, like 18 to 25-year-olds, were coming up to me going, oh yeah, thank you staff, they used to call me staff.
Yeah.
And thanks for this, thanks for supporting me, thanks for being like, you know, being strict on me, like, you know, and thanks for being consistent with that, you know. And then yeah, then I would explain to them at the end of the course, I'd be like, yeah, the reason why I did this is because I knew you had the potential to get through it, you know. Yeah. And I put those branches on you because those branches are safe, you know. And yeah, and then that taught me like I wanted to help people, you know. Yeah. So that's where I was getting through to my new pathway of like helping people. And then, you know, in that pathway, I kind of met a lot of other lovely people that were helping those troubled adults and the youth. And then like I started networking through that, you know, and working alongside them, gathering their knowledge, understanding, you know, how did you get into it, you know, what support, like, you know, and understanding how they work with these kids. And then yeah, and then one day before you know it, boom, like there was a job available, and I thought, okay, let's do it, you know. Me and my other mate, one of them, he headed off to Papakura, I headed off to Onehunga.
Oh, yep.
High school, and we both left together, and we went into like being a service director. Yeah, so we teach like NCA in school without, like, you know.
Oh, mean. How was that experience?
Oh, that experience was good, because I got a lot out of it, because I had a lovely lady named like Elaine. She was amazing. She's she developed the program. I just picked all the knowledge I could, like, you know, just being a right hand man, being there instructing, because instructing was easy, but it was linking instructing to learning, and in credits. So yeah, and then once I understood that foundation, man, the world's your oyster, you know, because I could create the programs how I wanted. Yeah. And the communication I gave to the my students, I ensure that, like, I was like, how would I have wanted to be communicated to, you know, and guided, you know. And then I just set like some good firm boundaries, you know, made things clear, and, you know, and then, like, you know, how I'm holding them accountable as well, you know. Yeah, just
accountability is a big thing.
100%, like within fitness, within like everything, everyday life, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, was like being consistent at it. So you know,
being consistent at being consistent at applying that accountability to other people.
Yes, nice. Yeah, especially my students, because they'll be under me. So, you know, if they're gonna turn up late, they're gonna get told about it. You know, we're gonna talk about it. You know, they're gonna you know, they're gonna leave the classroom in a mess. Yep, they're gonna, you know, get their correction training. You know,
nice.
You know, they don't turn up with gear, they're gonna be writing lines or something, like, you know, whatever it looks like, and it's gonna be consistent, and everyone's gonna be treated equally. You know.
Yeah.
And they
100%.
love that. They love that because they'll feed off it. You know.
I heard that some trainers, they do, like, where one person messes up, they all like do a... Yeah.
So it's there's a method we use. It's a one and all in. So, like, you know.
Yep.
So the reason behind it is, like, if you're one that's kind of like messing up or kind of not doing things right consistently.
Nice.
You know, we don't want to single those people out. You know.
Okay.
Because and the trick is to try and make the team support that person. Yeah. You know, and if they are getting overwhelmed doing that, then that's our job to come in individually and do it discreetly behind the scenes to guide them in a healthy way, so they don't feel like that they're like individual, or they don't feel vulnerable, you know. And that's the way we'll do it in a discreet way, so to build their confidence up, so they can be in that you know, amongst the other students and stuff, and feel happy in that space, you know, because we didn't get that. You know, so we'd always be like, boom, it's your fault, boom, this, you know. So we'd try and change the whole dynamic of it.
And it's just all based off when you're changing the dynamic of things, it's all based on the individual, but it's also based on how that individual does take it as well.
Yeah, 100%.
So in terms from, how you mentioned, just the whole aspect of curating the youth, making sure that they understand that, the mentality side of things, the accountability, also the confidence that you mentioned as well, they're all key pillar learnings to personal growth.
Yes,
they're all
100%.
kind of key pillar learnings to just lifestyle in general.
Yes.
It brings me to my next question in terms of like struggle and challenges. Like, have you faced any, either being within the army or either being in an athlete, being in an athlete, or either when as a hybrid athlete, are there any struggles or challenges that you faced?
I think the biggest challenge within anything is myself. So I'm my own biggest, I'm my own worst critic. And so the biggest thing is, I think being brought up, I got doubted quite a bit, like regards fitness wise, and like this is not, you're not this, you're not that, even my friends, and and I could see that, even like I was very body conscious too. I was very like insecure within myself of who I was, because I think being brought up in an Indian family, it's not, and in New Zealand, it's masculinity was quite a big thing back in the day,
Yeah, 100%.
And so for myself, I was in that era where I was that little Indian kid amongst my boys, and which I loved them to bits because they always had my back, and they'd always be there, and I'm by their side now. I've got
Nice.
them, all the way, but like, I was that guy, like, I couldn't do a push up, I couldn't run fast, I was like, I was not good at rugby, I was this and that, so. And that I was my own worst critic, and like so everything I did, I was so really harsh on myself with how I did things, and I just and I was just always pushing myself to do better.
So in terms of that pushing that you did yourself, as you mentioned, like you always wanted just to do better.
Yeah.
And that type of critique, depending on the person's mindset, it's either a good way or a bad way.
Bad way, yeah.
How was it for you?
I take a lot of things. It depends. If they lead by example and they're a good person, I would take it in a positive way. But if it's someone that thinks they're better than others, I don't take that I take that personally. Like
Yeah.
And it's because this is what I've been told is like every guy goes through therapy and stuff like that. So we do these things, and I'll be real about it. Like for myself as a young Indian boy, I used to walk around and I used to be like, I want to be like him, and him,
Yeah.
And I feel like I've had those memories in my back of my brain for for most of my life. So I used to walk around the Calisthenics park and I go, I want to be like those guys. I want to have abs. I want to have all these things. Then I look at some fit people in the army, but I want to be like them, And then I'll see like someone in the gym, like, oh, I want that body, or I want to be like that, or I want to do that trick, all those things. And so I'll take them quite personally, and then. Like what I mean by that is, it was the little boy in me that used to always get once he got awoken, and that's when the Vijay comes out, where I just don't stop until I get it,
Yeah, that's where that drive comes from.
Drives comes from and doesn't stop because that little boy hurt when he was little,
Yeah,
he didn't have anyone pushing him, he had no one guiding him, and he only had himself. So, and that's what I seen is like it was that little boy, and what I try and do is I try and put that little boy away when I I try and tell him to calm down and go, just relax, it's okay, you know. And I'm aware when he does pop out, and I'm aware when he gets triggered, So like I know this boy when it comes, if someone does doubt me, I will be working probably in the middle of the night doing stuff that training or something like that to make sure my skills are good, or to
make sure you're always on form.
I will be making sure if I'm like I'll stay home every night of the week and make sure I drink my water, and I'll make sure I eat my food, and I'll do everything I can. I'll be learning my skills if I had to, anything just to make sure that I know I can get it done, and then I'll calm myself down, then I'll calm down again,
And in a way, it's like you're proving them wrong, but also, is it? What would you say?
I wouldn't say proving them wrong. I would say doing it for myself.
Naturally,
naturally the work ethic that you put in within yourself. Everything will the flames will go down, within yourself.
Because they are within yourself.
Yeah, within yourself. Because I wouldn't want it to prove to them.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do it by my work ethic. I just keep working, keep being me.
Yeah.
And keeping, and it'll naturally just calm down naturally,
Yeah.
Everything will be back at ease again, and and then if that person, say for example, someone did say that, and it did really affect me, one day in life you'll cross paths again, and you'll have that conversation. And I think you can cause the peace,
I feel like it if someone did ever doubt you, and you kind of just continued not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself that you can do it, over time they would kind of see it from the background, and they wouldn't really approach you in a way of it'd be like you kind of set up what you said that you were going to do, and then it's like in a way it's like, oh, how did you do that? So you're basically helping them in a way by moving forward to that next step.
Definitely, yeah, because that's why it's a big thing I do with my youth is there's no such thing as can't, you know. If they want to do something, I will always support them no matter what they want to be, where they want to go, how they want to achieve it. We'll get it done, but in the most healthiest way, and the most holistic way. And the biggest thing I tell them, like I look at myself as just by filling the cup, you know. Your emotional cup. What does that look like, you know?
Before we get into filling the cup, give us a little explanation on that.
The filling the cup.
Filling the cup, yeah. Like what is from an outside point of view? People out there probably won't know what filling the cup is.
Okay, filling the cup. Okay, so everyone has there's an emotional cup that you carry around, you know. And like day to day, you know, to have a good day, you want to go to bed and you want to make sure that cup's full, you know. Whatever that looks like, that could be drinking 3 liters of water. That could be, you know, having 10 minutes in the sun. That could be spending time with your family, you know. That could be going to the gym for 1 hour. You know, whatever's going to make your mind happy, that's the emotional cup, you know. Whatever's going to make you smile and make you feel good at the end of the day and go to sleep going, today was a good day, you know. And so that's the emotional cup, and it comes within, you know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it comes within. And I got that from a therapist I work with, you know, like quite tight with her. She's an amazing woman. And like, you know, and so for our job as youth mentors, we are generically supporting our young people to fill the emotional cup, you know. And, you know, if they want to go to the pools and they want to go for a swim and they want to do some bombs, we're going to get that done for them, you know. And then that means that they've put a vision out there to us. We're going to support that, but we're going to probably put a incentive to it, like maybe like, you know, let's go and swim 5 lengths, then do that, you know. And then so we put a little bit of purpose into it, so it's a goal setting orientated, you know. And then so like that emotional cup, it's a big tool that I use in life, everyday life.
Oh, man.
You know, so I use it every day. Like I'll make sure that I always go to bed with my cup full. And if I need my cup full, I'll try and reach out to someone to, like, you know, hang out with it or chat to, or you know, or I'll just go to my safe space with my mum and dad, you know, and hang out with them and just relax.
And that's how you can fill your cup as well.
Fill your cup,
being in the atmosphere of other people.
And then so it's a great tool to have, great tool to apply for, you know, in life. You know?
Filling the cup. Definitely is a term where when you were talking about it earlier before how we're off scene, I've heard the term, but I've never really dabbled much into it. So definitely hearing it from your perspective or just from someone who can really explain what filling your cup means. Because in my head, it's like, oh, filling your cup could be like doing your chores for the day and just like ticking off your bucket list. But in terms of that emotional cup, definitely an eye-opener.
And one thing I will say about filling the cup is it's actually going down deep down within to fill it. You know, and that's actually you're genuinely talking to yourself and going, okay, I need to do this to make myself feel better, you know, and it's within you, you know.
Nice.
And, you know, and then, you know, and when you do fill that cup, being aware that you're filling it up, you know. And it's those little things, and that could be you go for a walk, at the end of the walk going, I love that walk, you know. That filled my cup, you know, like that was
speaking it into existence kind of thing.
You know? And then, you know, and like, you know, a good tool I use is with my friends is if I know my friends need some support and training, you know, I'm like, okay, I want to go and train them. I'll train with them or train them, you know, and help them. And then I'll be like, I'll fill their cup for the day, you know. That drives me, you know, and that makes me feel good, you know.
Because it would have a psychological effect. More.
And then like, you know, and it's always keeps me in check as well, you know. So it's a great tool to use with kids, with adults, with family, you know. And it's a great way to like, you know, actually do it like everyday life as well. It's a simple task, you know, just figuring out what you need, like, you know, it could be emotional, could be physical, anything.
100%. And in terms of your experiences though, like from what I'm hearing, like I see that the life journey, the mental well-being, also the physical well-being is definitely a big key component in your life in general. Is there someone who's an inspiration behind that, or like it could be anything basically, like an inspiration based on people you know or experience you felt?
I feel like for me, I get inspired by like, you know, everyday people, like, you know, like everyone,
just people you meet in the street or like that you connect with,
you know, everyone inspires me in their own way, you know, like, and I think like I do enjoy David Goggins, like I like him because like he's just down to earth and he's raw, and I like that. But like you know, I wouldn't speak that kind of language out to the world because I'm like I'm a bit closed, but like David Goggins definitely when I'm in that like when I'm in that like in the muscular endurance or the cardiovascular endurance stage, and then if I have to push through, I like that energy. I love that because I love feeling that pain and just going through it. Like it's good. But yeah, like I think everyone inspires me because when I meet people, I like I always get inspired by their journey. And if I know I can get something out of them, like regards to grow me, I'll ask for it. I'll ask them, and then I'll just talk to them and I'll just see what pushes them, and then I'll try and use some of those tools from their toolbox and bring it into mine.
Yeah, and that's kind of how you build your masterpiece.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it.
You basically borrow the tools from other people,
Yeah.
build the foundation with
Yeah.
that tool, and kind of build the building on top of that foundation.
Yeah, and like and then going on to that, like the person that probably inspires me the most is probably my mum.
Oh, nice.
Just because like she's the woman that's held the family down. Like and she means the world to me, and I just like the tools that she's applied in life for us to be who we are today. Like I just think like I look at her and I just sit there with her and I spend time with her, and that's what inspires me. And then she even like now she knows that I love fitness.
Yeah,
She'll be like,
yeah.
what time are you gonna be home? And I'll be like, I'll come home at about 9, Mum. I don't live with my parents, but when I do go home,
Yeah.
and she'll be like, okay, all good, dinner's ready. Rice, chicken, this, that, and I'll be like, okay, I love that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then she inspires me a lot. She's a hardworking lady. And like in the relationship with Dad, like she's the one that hard worker, but I feel like I've got those from her.
Yeah.
So to apply that into my future, like she just doesn't stop.
She keeps going.
Yeah, that's it. And like and that's just who she is. And like she definitely inspires me. That lady. Yeah.
But hey, coming home to a warm meal, like a good meal, like after a long day, definitely would fill her cup more, and also would fill you.
Yeah, definitely.
Just that love that's coming around in the atmosphere.
100%.
Now, because we were talking about just the mental fortitude of things. Now we know that fitness, as you mentioned before, if the fitness journey alone, it is a real tough journey.
Yes.
So like with being in the army, becoming a hybrid athlete, it does require like a lot of mental toughness. Usually, what is your mentality like when you're pushing through tough workouts?
Tough workouts. Okay. So I'll just say I've got to a stage now where training is just an everyday thing for me. So I'm at a point now where I can just go in there. I won't be motivated, but I'll just get it done.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. There's one way or another. I will get my heart rate up and I'll do what I need to do. And if I have to be there for 4 or 5 hours, I will. Just as long as I've got time, then I'll make it happen. And I have a lot of new avenues that I can take now regards getting my fix to just get for my training as well. And like so you're meaning but with mental toughness and stuff like that, like so for myself, when I'm going through a tough workout, I just think there's always going to be an ending.
Nice.
And if I can't manage up like staying up there within my like peak level, if I'm keep pushing through, I'll just cut back. I'll start regressing.
Yeah.
And I'll still just keep pushing through to get through to a comfortable state, and I'll use it as a learning curve, and then I'll come back into it and I'll give it another go.
So in terms of regressing, you're meaning like if there's like a workout you kind of want to do or a goal you kind of want to like achieve, you kind of do the steps before you hit that goal.
Hit that goal, yeah. And it depends how you mean it. So if you're meaning like within a session and I'm tapping out within a session, I think then and there, I'll just keep pushing through because I know there's a time frame. But then I'll just have to make sure that I'm not going to the extent where I'm going to injure myself, So I can just carry on. But I won't stop. I'll carry on until I finish through, and I'll just keep going, and that's pretty much what I normally do. Sometimes I might not hit the rep count or this and that, but I'll learn from that, and I'll go and practice it, and I'll come back and then I'll come back and give it a go.
And that really plays a big part in like the whole mentality consistency type. How like consistency, even though you don't really like love to see yourself kind of get to that point, you kind of just have to stay consistent till you kind of get that goal.
Get that goal, yes.
So in terms of consistency, how do you stay consistent, or kind of what does consistency mean to you?
I feel like in life, I've tried so many different things of how I want to feel, and like what I want to like for fitness, and I've realized that I want to be the best within myself,
Best version of yourself.
Yeah, best version. So for fitness, I think if I'm gonna drink water, I'm gonna drink the right amount of water that I need to do for the day. So I've picked 6 liters for myself.
Oh, mean.
So that's what I'll drink in a day.
Yeah,
if I want
yeah.
to eat, if I want that body, obviously I've got to eat that food. So I'm gonna eat that healthy food. But for myself, I don't count calories because everyone's different. Everyone has their own different visions. But for my well-being and my long-term, or for my health and how I live my life in my mind,
Yeah.
Food is energy. Food is recovery for me.
Oh, mean.
Yeah, and I'll only use comfort. Food will be comfort within if I say yes, I am going to go out and enjoy food, then that'll be it. Everything else will be put aside, and I'll enjoy food.
Oh, nice.
But if I'm by myself, then definitely food is recovery. Food is food is energy. Food is recovery. Sorry. Yep. And then for training, I just keep turning up. Like I'll just have I'm quite a volume trainer, so I do quite a lot of high reps.
Nice.
So I'll just go and pick like say maybe 5 or 6 exercises, and it'll be all body, and then I'll just do like 100 reps of each, but I'll break it down to technique.
Oh, yeah.
And if it depends if I'm training with like the boys and this and that, then I'll figure out the tempo for it, and then I could be there for a couple of hours, and I'll just do like say 10 reps of the press ups, and 10 squats, 10 this, 10 that, but I'll just make it all technique orientated.
Yeah.
But I know at the end when I've written these down and I've looked at my notepad on my phone, I feel a sense of achievement, and I feel gratitude within myself
because you're ticking off the bucket list in a way.
List, yeah. So filling the cup.
Filling the cup.
Yeah. So like, and that's what I see. And then I think if I start getting soreness in those areas, I just go to another avenue of training.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So I just like a hop, skip, and jump around.
Yeah.
I'll go jump on the Stairmaster, or I'll go jump on the sauna for an hour and a half, and I'll just get my heart rate up and get it down. Or I'll what else is there? Like calisthenics. Obviously, I love calisthenics. I'm going into calisthenics. I think I'm very beginner at calisthenics, but I love it because the reason why is there's so much discipline in those techniques that you have to learn.
Yeah.
And there's so much skill with mind-muscle connection that you got to do, and I think you have to be very patient to be in that game. And
definitely.
That's the reason why I love it, because it slows me down.
Yeah.
And when you've done well is when you're pulling off a calisthenic trick and it looks smooth,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be there day in, day out, just drilling with bands, not stop, like hundreds and hundreds of muscle ups, and I won't stop until I just,
Sheesh.
And the only reason I do that is not because I think I'm awesome. I just think because I love the movement of the body,
Yeah.
Yeah, and because it just moves a lot of muscles. There's a lot of mind-muscle connection going on, a lot of breathing happening.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tempo drop, tempo raise. There's there's a lot of different things happening, and I think even it's the workout's quite interesting with the calisthenics as well. So that a lot of people are intrigued.
Yes.
So
you do get like a couple eyes in the gym looking at it, because it's like something that's not natural.
Natural, yeah. But then again, they're intrigued and they want to go have a go.
Yeah.
And if they can jump in and have a turn, I love that as well. So like, it makes me want to do it more,
Yeah.
And that's why, and so like for myself with my mental toughness and training, I'll always take training on.
Yep.
And if I don't achieve it, then I'll push through to the end, but then I'll reflect on it, and then I'll go and work on it, and then I'll go and come back to it.
And then come back stronger, pretty much. Yeah.
Come back stronger, yeah. And but if I get vulnerability in it, like if I say, for example, CrossFit, I'm not good at, but like if I try and do a CrossFit technique and I can't do it, and I felt like vulnerable or fragile, I'll definitely go and do the regressions to it and practice it. I won't lift the heaviest weight, but I'll just try and practice the basic technique
until you kind of like lock that, and then you kind of move to the next step.
Next step, yeah. And then I'll do that way, But then again, I like doing some like kind of like quite hardcore stuff as well, just to see where I'm at.
Yeah, because not gonna lie, bro, calisthenics is not really for an ego lifter. So someone who really egos, like I'm only saying it as in like a general demographic within the gym, like people who want to just like get in there and just lift heavy from the bat. It kind of like humbles you in a way.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if, like for example, you could go to the gym and lift 50 kg dumbbells, be the biggest man, but then like in the calisthenics realm, you won't be able to equate to one muscle up. So in terms of like people who really have the ego to lift heavy, when they kind of try and do the move, it kind of like humbles them.
Humbles it, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of technique to it, and a lot of mind muscle connection, and like and then we've got a lot of great calisthenics athletes out there, man. They're amazing, and they just give you so much, like any advice I get, I'm just banking it, and then I'm practicing it. Like I won't even post it, I'll just keep going.
Yeah,
and that's such a great. It's good for long life health too. So as you get older, you can still maintain it.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing that I kind of do it for. So as I get older, at least I've got some nice, beautiful training styles to maintain, and I won't. injury prevention, you know.
Yeah.
As well.
Because like Cali does work places where you really don't hit as much. If you're doing like a normal bis and tries on one day and then chest and shoulders on another day.
Yeah.
With Cali, when you're doing like a certain movement, it'll hit certain joints or hit certain muscle groups where you're like, oh wow, I never actually worked out that before.
Definitely.
And you kind of feel the whole change.
Definitely. And then you can definitely put the whole gym kind of style into Cali as well by adding weights, dropping reps, tempo, just holds, etc., like muscle under tension. So there's a lot of things you can do to help elevate your muscle and grow your muscle or cut your muscle. It depends. Just really depends on the way you do your training. And then so that like you can definitely like it's a great avenue to be in as well. And then again, like weights is fun as well. Having that foundation as well.
Why do you think people don't do calisthenics? Like it's so I know that. I'm sorry. I know with Cali is a real niche type of workout formalities within New Zealand itself. I definitely know in Australia and everything, it's real popular in Australia and also the States. Street workouts, doing all these certain moves. But what do you think within New Zealand, just the New Zealand community its own, why it's not a popular type of workout style?
I feel like people don't believe in their full potential and they back off. And I think that's the biggest thing is like they'll relate it to something in the gym and they'll be like, oh, I'm not strong enough yet. That's the biggest thing that'll come out. And then they'll back off and think they can't. And I feel like that's a common thing that happens. Like, oh yeah, I like to do that, and then they'll be like, oh, I'm not strong enough yet, but they actually are. Like they just got to come in and give it understand it and give it a go.
Yeah.
And then, get their regression they need and just practice that and they'll be there within no time,
Do you think it's also because it's the fear of like for example, like people who don't do Cali, they just been gymming, going hard out for their whole lives. And then here's calisthenics being offered an opportunity to kind of grow and people see it, they look at it and they see it's cool. But do you think it's because they don't want to do it, it's a sign of change that they're not wanting to pursue?
That's definitely that. Yeah, because I think they could be set in their ways regards what their vision is for themselves.
Yeah,
and I think like and I think like a lot of them will think they could counter what they're trying to be doing and things like that, and then that'll step them back from it.
Because they'll probably look at Cali and be like, oh, I'm trying to pursue this goal and I don't think Cali's going to get me there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then again, they could jump on the bar, they'll pull up, hold it for 5 seconds, and bring it down, and it could be similar to lift overhead press or something, And
that's that type of regression you're talking about. Just like working it from the bottom and also getting to the point where probably calisthenics, I know definitely calisthenics can be implemented into any type of workout in all life, no matter who it is. It's just being able to show that it can.
100%. Yeah, and we've got a lot of amazing calisthenics athletes out there, man. There's a community now. And they're just inspiring, the things they do and the moves they do, man.
Yeah, I definitely know a couple boys. Like I think when I first started off, the person who actually told me his name was Cameron. I think we know Cameron. Definitely a goat in the calisthenic space.
Definitely.
That guy's training methods is killer. But man, if it works for him, definitely. Look at his body is so great, like muscly. Actually, the way he holds his planche and everything, his handstands. Definitely, he's been like hustling hard.
Yeah, he's OG. He's such a humble man, that fella.
Yeah. Man. Definitely need to catch up with him though. Need to see where he's at. Now, in terms of just like, managing your days when you're feeling tired, burned out, or unmotivated, how do you kind of approach that?
So I think like. This is one thing one of the therapists told me. She goes to this, you can't change anyone that doesn't want to be changed, So it's really up to you. And a big one is we've got to remember is like everyone's different. Everyone has their own different lifestyles. But for myself in general, I do exercise for the mind now. I don't do it for the body. I do it for the mind. And every day, every time I do something, I want to make sure my mind is clear when I go into it, Or if I'm doing it, I'm doing it to clear the mind, So before I go to work, I need to move my body. There's no matter what, like I have to move it. If it's a sauna and I'm moving in the sauna and I'm just getting sweaty, that's move my body, Yeah. If it's training, then it's move my body. If it's going for walks, move my body, and I'll move it just to get the body moving and the blood flowing, and that'll be a non-negotiable. It'll have to be done.
So sauna in the morning before work?
Yeah, for myself, yeah, because I've done it for a couple of years, so I would definitely do that. And then so I'll do that through thick and thin. And there's one thing that I always keep to myself as well, as like you got to go through the tough days to get to the good days, you know. And every day is not going to be perfect, but if you prepare for it, you'll be okay. You know, and that's a big one that I say to myself. I'm just like, okay, you're getting tired now, because I always talk to myself. I'm like, you're getting tired.
Yeah.
Okay, be ready for it. Okay, what are you gonna do? And I'll be like, okay. I'm not even gonna try and do anything. I'm just gonna go to the sauna, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll just, so I don't have to do anything. I just have to turn up to the sauna, really, drink some water, and just sweat until I get balance,
until you've done it,
and just jump into the cold shower, and I just go in and out until I get my feel good, you know. And and that's the biggest thing, is like always move my body, because eventually once I move my body, I break out of my that cycle. I feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
I get my endorphins going, and then I can carry on my day, you know. And then that'll hopefully get me into my. By the time I get to my second workout, I'll be ready to go, you know, fueled. And I'll always go into work with a clear mind as well, because I'm working with youth, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure that I'm aware, I'm awake, I understand what's going on, and I'm ready to, you know, for quick change if I need to.
Yeah.
And just support our young people to make sure they're, you know, they're safe within those hours we're working with them, you know.
Beautiful.
And that's a big thing, yeah. And like, yeah, so I'll definitely always turn up as well. And the hardest thing for me is probably, the biggest thing is for me is not to go
to the gym.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
not to go to training. So that's the toughest thing. So my biggest challenge is trying to rest and tell myself to stop.
Yeah.
So like, you know, and like I've had a few wins the last couple of days, because I've finished a 3 or 4 hour gym session, and I've been wanting to go for a walk. And then I said to myself, no, go home. And it was the biggest struggle to get home and get into bed.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't go to sleep. I just sat there for a while. And then I just sat there, and then I got up and went for a walk, but I felt like that was a win for me.
What was going through your head when you were trying to rest? Like, because for me, what goes through my head when I'm trying to rest is like, damn, I'm resting while someone else is doing better than me. So I'm like, oh, let's get up and go.
Yeah.
Well, what's going through your head?
Go through my head is like, you can rest at night, you know, or like, you know, it's those little things, like, you know, I rest in my sleep, like that kind of vibe, you know. And I'm my own worst critic, you know, because resting's actually going to be, it's beautiful for me. It's good for me, because when I rest, I actually become better, and I become stronger, and I become more alert, and I talk more clearer, you know, within myself and to my friends. And I feel like I feel like a good person to be around. That's the biggest thing.
Nice.
And a supportive person, you know, because I want to support people, you know.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and then that's some of the things I remember I tell myself when I'm trying to rest, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and then like today I actually had an hour nap, and that was like, it was the most fluctuated nap ever, but it was a win for me, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll take that, and like, you know,
because it got you to the point where you're like, I rested.
I rested, yeah. You know. So like that's the harder things for me to rest, because I can keep moving all day. You can keep walking.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll probably see it through my stories. Just like I'm always posting my walks.
Always active, man. Always active.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. But and like being unmotivated, I'm kind of not now. I'll turn up.
Yep.
I'll get it done, and when those days do come, I'm just ready for it, and I'll just have to figure out a plan that I got to do to get through it, you know.
Nice.
And and then for that is I have a safety plan, you know.
Oh, mean.
Yeah, so like it's my emotional safety plan. So like what I do with myself now is, and I tell my friends this as well, is this is a great tool to use as well as the emotional cup, is when things aren't going right, what is your safety plan to get yourself back on track, you know, regards emotional, physical, and you know, and all that stuff, and mental as well. Like, so like whatever it looks like to you. So for me, it could be just going to the sauna and having like cleansing myself, because like it's easy, it's simple, it's easy, it's you can access it, you know. And so I just do I cleanse in it, or it could be going home to have food with my parents, you know, or it could be going to the beach and having a coffee, or like it could be going to bed and having a rest, you know, or it could be going to the gym, or it could be going, you know, whatever my mind's telling me, like it could be some cardio I need to do, or hanging out with friends, you know, or going out for that drink you wanted to go out for, you know, all those things. So like that's a big one for me as well, is like when I'm about to hit a brick wall, I'll always have a safety plan. I'll make sure I fall back onto that, and I'll start applying it, and I'll do that, and it might take me 24 hours, 48 hours, 2 weeks, I don't know, but I'll keep doing it until I get back into my state back into normal. Yeah.
Once everything starts to set.
Yeah, and you'll feel yourself come out of it, because you'll feel good. As soon as you feel good, safety plan's complete, you know. and you're
Yeah.
back into it again, you know.
So definitely a safety plan is like, you would recommend that everyone should have a safety plan.
Oh, definitely, man. Like I ask this regularly to all my friends. I'm like, if they're feeling overwhelmed, like, what's your safety plan?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, what is it? Like, it could be anything, you know, and it's a big one because then when you do start getting down, at least you can actually go back onto it, you know. Because if it's helped you once, it's gonna help you again,
Definitely.
you know. And if it didn't work, then you're gonna enhance it.
Yeah.
know?
Or change some of the rules that you've applied.
Rules, yeah. And but that comes within, you know. That's where if you're ready for one, then you'll make one, you know.
100%.
And that's mind, body, and soul, you know. And it's always a need, you know. If you want, safety plan could be that person you reach out to, your best friend, you know, and spend some time with them, you know. It could be that, and that's what it looks like, you know. And that's a great tool to have in life, you know.
Yeah.
As well, yeah. So safety plan, because we pass this on to the kids. We're like, what's your safety plan, you know?
Yeah.
What's your safety plan when you get angry at school, you know? And they were like, oh, I go to the teacher. I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, what happens if the teacher's not there? And then we'll tell them, they'll be like, oh, go to the principal. Okay, that's even better. Good,
Yeah,
you know?
mean.
So they, like, you know, so practice what we preach kind of thing, you know?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I noticed that, like, you know, practicing what you preach is the, like, thing a lot of people have to really do when they kind of make a statement, you know.
Yes, definitely.
It's just because when you practice what you preach, based on the power of your tongue, it's a real powerful thing. Because what you say, you know, the words that you kind of curated within another person definitely has an effect, no matter if it's good or bad.
Definitely, yeah. And that's a big one too. Like, you know, if you're preaching it to these young people and you're practicing it within yourself,
Yeah.
you know that your little circle that you're walking around in is safe, you know, because you've got a lot of tools in place so that your energy won't affect others, you know. You can only affect others in a positive way, and if it's not feeling too good, then you can go back and you're going to work on yourself and get yourself back out there to make sure everything's, you know.
But then you have confidence also that it's safe.
It's safe, yeah, 100%, yeah.
So then it all plays a big part.
Definitely.
I kind of want to pull you back to your saunas.
Okay.
What I want to know is the biggest question is, where did the name the Sauna King come from?
Okay, Sauna King.
Because I like when I started Flex, like I definitely heard your name go throughout the gym. So you were definitely a well-known person within Flex Monaco when it was up and running. But it was like, oh, do you know Vijay? Vijay? It was not always Vijay. It was, do you know the Sauna King Vijay? It was always Sauna King before your name. So how did that name come through?
Okay. So there was obviously my good friend Safia. So I love her to bits. She's always been there with me, and she's probably trains way more than me, to be honest. Yeah. So she's a great person. Love her to bits. So she was a sauna queen. She was always in the sauna.
Oh, mean.
Yeah. So then I was like, hey, how come she's always saunering? And then I was like, okay. And then some day I didn't really use the sauna, but then I was training and I was like, wait, I want to go in here. And I just started sweating and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then, you know, and I did it for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then it went to an hour and a half, you know. And then but the biggest thing was that I was doing it on the regular. Yeah. And so if we're looking at like if you look at the sauna, it's quite a communal place. It's a place where a lot of people speak about life. So
that's where you have your most, like, your best conversations within the sauna.
Well, sauna because you're the most relaxed to stay.
Yeah.
And that I was always in there. Like literally, I just go in there and I'm like, I don't care what anyone said about me. I'll just go in there sauna, and I'd have like even the sauna queen will be there, like Safi will be there. We'll all be there, and we'll just sit there and we'll just sweat, like pouring water on the thing and just sweat, and you know, and then like eventually the name Sauna King clicked on. I was like, oh, Sauna King. and then I used to have all my sauna stash, like all over the eucalyptuses.
Yeah, the eucalyptus oil.
Yeah, I used to have a 6-liter water bottle. I used to pour in the sauna, and then you know, and then I used to like make sure everyone got warmed up, and you know, and then like, you know, and then everyone's like, oh, Sauna King's here, watch out, you know, and and that clicked, and then but I'd be calling others Sauna King, you know.
Yeah,
and that's it, like I got that name. But ever since those days doing saunas, I've done saunas like most days, you know. Probably today's the first day I haven't done a sauna.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in a while, because the only reason is because I kind of overtrained the last couple of days, so I thought I had to deload from it, you know. I don't want to keep the fluids in my body instead of out of the body, you know. Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna hold down that name, Sauna King.
Yes.
Definitely love that.
But definitely, like from based on from when I was at Flex Monaco going on the cartel, I'm pretty sure that the name just stayed, bro. Yeah. The name never faded. Like even I'm out of like cartel and going to like Airport Oaks, you know, I still hear some people like for example I was in a sauna probably a couple of days ago, and I met like 3 dudes in the sauna. Some of them were what is it? They train at Flex in Point Chev.
Yeah.
And I was talking about like the Sauna King from Monaco, which was you. And one of them knew you. His name was Cole Davey.
Davey.
He's a PT. Because I was yarning off with the boys. I was just talking about anime. And then I was like, oh man, this guy from Monaco Flex. He used to like sauna like way more longer than me. And then he actually said your name. He was like, oh, was it Vijay? And then I was like, hey, you know that, bro? And then in my head, I was like, damn, like your name goes around for sauna, man.
Yeah, sauna. Yeah, it's a musty. Like honestly, like if you can get a sauna in your life for 20 minutes, a day to cleanse yourself, man, I highly recommend it. It's just so good, eh? Once you understand the why of it, it's worth it, eh? It's not the whole endurance of like doing it for a long period, but it's more why you're doing it. Man, it sticks, eh?
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah.
Because like what's like maybe like in terms of sauna, because some people out there probably know what the sauna kind of benefits. But like what are probably 2 or 3 benefits from the sauna that you could get?
So it decreases the risk of cancer, I think.
Oh, me.
Yeah, so there's a percentage it does. So I don't know exactly the percentage because I don't want to say it on here because then I might get it wrong. But if you look on Google, it'll tell you. Another one is so it helps with cardiovascular health.
Yes.
So heart health.
Heart health.
Yeah, because obviously your heart rate goes up and down. So your heart gets a good time to pump and stuff like that as well. So it's really good for you. And the other, I think the biggest one, like for the leaner crowd, it's good for a good cleanse. So cleansing the body. So getting rid of all your toxins, and then bringing in water and just getting that body cleansed out.
Nice.
And then after that you refill, and then you refill with all the good nutrients, and your body starts running properly again. And then obviously if you're a bit like on the other side, it's good for weight loss as well.
Oh, mean.
Yeah. So it's a bit. There's a lot of benefits to it. There's so much to it as well. I don't think as long as I think we do it a bit extra, but like because we love it. But like
But weight loss in terms of water weight, eh?
Yeah, water weight and stuff like that. And it depends if you're kind of like quite above the overweight side, then you will definitely lose water weight, but then you'll get into a weight loss. Like weight will start dropping a bit.
Oh, mean.
Yeah. So that will help. But for us guys that are probably like a bit thinner, then it'll be obviously it's a bit more cleansing orientated too.
Beautiful.
And then if you link it with a cold shower, it's just really to make your mind nice and clear. It helps your body fluctuate, fat burning,
nice,
calorie burning, all that good stuff. And yeah. But it takes a while. You got to be in there for quite a bit to understand it.
And kind of like when you understand the whole concept and go through the reps, then
and
that's
then
when you kind of fill it out.
Feel it, yeah, and it takes time. It's over time. It's like you got to make sure you're quite consistent at it to see the benefits in the end.
Like it's all. So then, and in terms of sauna, we, as we mentioned, how you already given us the benefits. So I definitely highly recommend people out there to give sauna a go. If you ever need, the bro will probably be at every sauna you can. If you ever need, the bro will probably be at every sauna out there. So you'll definitely see him. But yeah, like I kind of want to move into our next segment. Basically, this next segment for us is basically me just asking you more in depth about the story behind the name, the Sleeper Build Fitness.
Okay,
that's kind of want to dabble into. Yeah. How did that type of community, or basically was it a community?
Oh, it's just a name, really. It's just a name, yeah. Okay. So just with Sleeper Fitness, it's not. It's just the alias I've kind of claimed, but like, I haven't put it up. I haven't done anything to put it up there because I think I'm in the youth work sector at the moment. But regards that, I think it's just I want like for myself, I feel I'm quite skinny. Like I can look quite skinny because I wear quite big clothes and stuff like that. Lane,
I don't think you're skinny, bro.
Oh yeah.
You're pretty you're pretty big, bro.
Yeah. But for myself, I feel quite. There'll be times where I feel quite skinny and stuff. And I thought, man, I want to be like, I want to put out an alias where I want the people to go work behind the scenes and then pop back out and just go, boom, here I am.
Yeah.
So like, go work behind the scenes, be sleeper about it, don't really tell anyone about it, and then just pop back up and look, here I am. I'm like, this is me now. And that's the kind of vibe I bring into like white sleeper builders, because like it's someone that can wear like you can wear a shirt, you can be quite discreet. Yeah. And then you chuck a singlet on, you look quite fit and healthy.
Mean
that kind of vibe. And like a lot of people with their fitness journey will tend to put it out there, and then they'll go hide away for a bit.
Yeah.
And then I thought of that philosophy as well. And it's just, and that's where I got the word sleeper build from, you know? It's someone that you can walk into a gym and you like, you know, you're just chilling, vibing. Next minute, boom, you're doing all these things. Like, oh, actually, that's actually quite cool, you know?
And you're putting them out at different seasons.
Seasons, yeah, you know what I mean? So like, it's that kind of vibe, and like, you know, and like I always tell the boys, I'm like, bro, that's it. Go sleeper build, man. Like,
Yeah.
go and hide, go and do your training, pop back up, bro, when you're ready, and we'll be here. You just thought, you know, and it's just like it's like a code word, like, you know, just go and get it done.
Sleeper build.
Yeah.
Get it done behind the scenes and then come out flourishing.
Yeah, flourishing. And then like, but when you do the work behind the scenes, it's like actually doing the sleeper work, you know, like actually going in there, putting the work in, you know, like you think about people that are sleeping, you're working, you know, doing all those, the nutrition, the water intake, your why, you know, looking at that goal and go, I'm going for it, you know, that's the whole sleeper build mentality, like, you know, and that's the biggest thing about it, you know. And then when you do start showing yours, like if you're showing, like, you know, wearing a singlet and you're looking good, it's like, damn, sleeper build, man, where you been? Like, you know, like, well, we didn't see those half pop up, you know. And it's just like, it's a bit of a, like, it's quite, and that's where I got it from. And me and Dristy, my mate Dristy, came up with it, and and for myself now, I kind of like, I thrive off it, eh? Like, I thrive off that name because I can't really have that name and not be it, you know?
Yeah.
So I need to make sure I maintain it, and that's why it pushes me to be better and better every day. You know, and then and like, and that's what it is, you know, like I'll like, for myself, I really want to, like, you know, with my well-being at my age, I want to just I want to go to the pinnacle of my, like, I just want to be so healthy that I just, you know, I'm just like, I can just fit, like, well-being is easy for me, you know.
100%. Would you say that that's probably the driving factor behind the sleeper build? Like itself.
It's my life. It is because being, like, you know, not in shape for much of life. I'm actually saying I'm not in shape now. I'm healthy. I say that, But like, just being kind of on the outskirts of that fitness and not being like fit and healthy and this and that, and then actually figuring out what it looks like to get there and be healthy. You know. I was thinking, like, man, what can I do to make myself elevate more, you know? And I just thought, like, sleeper build, you know? And I thought, man, I'm gonna go undercover. Like, I'm just gonna hide away and I'm just gonna work. And you know, and then I put all together, and that's how I came up with the name sleeper build. And and I like it how it's caught on to my nickname.
Sleeper build.
And I like that because it's a vibe, you know. And then, but I'm always out to the boys going, oh, sleeper build, you know, when I see them, you know, seeing them tensing with their shirts off and stuff, and I like that, you know. It's a
Are you planning on creating community with that?
I think
or like in the near future.
It's an option I can take. But I feel like for myself, I love fitness too much. I just want to help people, you know. And like, I've got the knowledge, I've got the experience, I've got everything there. Like, if my friends want help, I'm gonna they reach out to me. I'm gonna talk to them, you know. And I want to say, you know, but I'm gonna come in more of a lifestyle perspective than a, you know, in-depth, like, inspective, you know? So I want to be like, you just need to, but the first thing I do tell my friends if they want to get onto a wellbeing journey is this, okay, show me you can drink 3 liters of water, get good sleep, and eat some good food for the week, you know?
100%.
And go and walk 3 times, you know, just show me the basic stuff, you know, and then we'll talk about it, we'll talk a bit more in depth if you want to go there, you know? And then I just do it in that vibe, you know, like, and if they do come up to me, I will help them, you know, I'll guide them.
100%.
And then, like, you know, and it's all within passion and just from my heart and just making sure that they feel good, you know. That's the biggest thing about it, you know.
It's making sure that they have their support system as well.
That's it, you know. And then if I can't give it to them, then I'll find someone that will, you know. And, you know, and that's the biggest thing, like, about it is like, hey, I want to do this. And we're like, oh, wait there, I've got the right person for you. Bang. And then I'll just network them, you know.
So just because, like, you were saying that you probably just want to do, like, based on just helping other people grow, would you say that your Sleeper Build fitness account that you have at the moment will probably be like a platform for others to showcase what they want? Are you going to do that within that platform?
So what
like
I've started,
show other people's journeys?
So what I'm doing now is I'm starting to jump onto other people's pages and my friends, and I'm just gonna start sharing this stuff, you know, and
100%
on their stories. I might get them to collaborate it with me and chuck it on there, and I'll just it's for people to just be seen, you know. And that's the biggest thing for it. And like, you know, and if there is a big journey that one of my mates is going to take and he wants to be a part of it, I'll just go, I'll be like, let me post it on here, and then we'll collaborate and check onto that account, you know. And I'll do it on that way. So it's just to get their fan base out, you know, to get them to see other people to see them that might not see them, you know.
100%.
And you know, if they want to get recognized, they take it. Of course, I'm going to share it, you know.
And
it's all that kind of vibe, and it's a community based stuff, like, you know.
It's like a I hype you, you hype me,
yeah, kind of
and
thing.
it works like that.
Yeah, and that's why that collaboration on the Instagram is quite cool because
Mean.
you can collaborate with people, you know, and that's the vibe of it. And yeah, so I've just been actually because you said that today, I've just been figuring out a way to bring it out there more, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've just started that, so that's what I want to do. If people are tagging me on my personal account, I'll take that one and then I'll put it on that one as well, you know. And I'll just and it'll network around, you know. And
Yeah,
that,
100%. Like
and
you mentioned word of mouth earlier
yeah,
today.
yeah. And it's just recognition. People deserve to be recognized, you know,
Oh,
for
100.
their hard work. You know, if someone's lost 10 kgs and they haven't told and they haven't been seen, but they told me, I'm gonna recognize it. I'm gonna put it out there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
let's give them some praise. You know, they deserve that. It's hard work, you know, and recognition goes a long way because it resets them, re-elevates them, and makes them go even harder. You know,
Yeah,
and
100%.
that's the biggest thing that like you know we want to do is like it's just showing gratitude towards everyone and within their journey in their life. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what sleeper build is. And like you know, if people do get say doubted or the boys think, "Oh man, I'm not feeling good," I'm like, "Bro, go sleeper build. Let's do it." You know, I'll work with you. Let's go. Let's just go and train. Let's step it up. You know, and then just keep that mentality. And when they start popping out, showing skin,
Mean.
boom, you know, they feel good. That's the whole aspect of it. You know.
So sleeper build being the whole aspect of, as you mentioned before, just going off the radar for a bit,
Yeah.
staying focused, staying grounded to the T pretty much.
Yeah.
Would you say social media plays a big role in the cultivation of like their mindset, or like if you're wanting them to go sleeper build, would you want them to stay disconnected from that aspect?
I think it's up to them. But so what I say by that sleeper builders is probably not show themselves, but show their journey, regardless what they're
Yeah.
doing. So
Beautiful,
that's
beautiful.
another avenue you can take. So you don't need to show yourself. You can show your face.
Yeah,
You can show where you are. You can take a selfie.
yeah.
But you don't need to, put it all like your progress out there. You can just be lay low for it.
Yeah.
And then because that's another one because I like posting stories because that keeps
Yeah,
me,
100, yeah,
keeps
yeah.
me accountable. So I'll be like, oh, end of the day I like post it. I just post on the go anyway. But like I'll just post where I am. I'll just be like, yeah, sunset, or water intake. Oh yeah, some blueberries here and there, or this a sauna.
Yeah,
I'll just so like, but that's still like showing that you're working on yourself, but you're not being seen in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
yeah, and but you that people are like your friends are knowing that you're still there, you're doing it.
Or people who know you well,
yeah.
or people who just know you,
Yeah.
know like that you're working behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
And the reason behind that will be is because someone that's vibing with that will connect with it,
Mean.
and and then they could have a connection and they could carry on a journey together, so that brings that whole vibe together.
Beautiful.
And then that's what how I see it.
Yeah.
And how it looks like. So if you're doing something like a sauna every day, one day you're gonna say, oh, someone's gonna ask you, hey, where do you sauna?
Yeah.
Come along. And then that's another connection you made, a friend you made, and someone that you could have given some good tools to guide and support their family. And that's what it's about. Like it's about that community and like that sharing and that culture and and then that's how I see it and that's how I vibe it and and then if you want to show your gains, then go hard, like post them up.
I feel like basically in that way, when you're also putting your journey out there, that's basically a piece of valuable information for other people to kind of grasp. Like, oh wow, like this guy is actually trying to make something of himself.
Yeah, 100%,
or like trying to focus on his journey.
Yeah.
So it becomes an inspiration to them as well. So you kind of
100%,
has that cause effect.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, and that's it. And then you could really help that person,
Yeah.
and then or get them started again, And like I know there's a lot of my friends that are doing that right now. They're posting quite a bit.
Mean.
And I know that it's male and female are reaching out to them, and and I love that for them because why? Because they feel like they know that their journeys, it's fanning out,
Mean.
it's giving to people,
Yeah,
and you might not have the most followers in the world, but if there's 2 or 3 people that have reached out to you and go, hey, you inspire me, that means a lot, and then
as they say, like if you like they say like no matter how many followers you have, there's this little saying where if you only have 200 followers that you're like 200 followers on your list, and you're seeing that as low, imagine 200 people right in front of you.
yeah, that's it.
That's still like a big.
That's big.
That's
group.
a big group.
That
Like
is-
if
that
you're
is-
talking to 200 people in front of you, that's definitely like a massive perspective to kind of see it.
Yeah, 100%, and that's it, and that's the vibe, and
Yeah.
that's it, like and like if you keep continuously posting on your stories regards just like a run here and
Yeah,
there, someone's gonna catch on. that feels that moment.
Yeah.
They want that, and they'll find it, and you might have that next moment with them and make a good friend, lifelong friend. So that's what matters the most,
Like for in terms of what you just mentioned, based on the stories, like because when I went to go do that hour 30 minutes, I just seen your story a couple of days ago, and it was like you clocked in an hour in the morning, and I think you clocked in like 30 or 45 minutes later on during the night. So then in my head, I'm like, damn, this guy's in there for let's kind of like let's kick it into gear. And then I was like, oh sweet, do an hour 30, and I'm like, damn, maybe let's just tone it down a bit and work, and then start regressing. Because I just like hop straight into it without the regression, as you mentioned before.
Yeah, I vibed that too. I was when I seen that, because that's why I had to take the Sauna Queen in there, because I was like, yeah, you tag me, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'll tag her, and then I was like, and that's what made me vibe for the next day. So I did another sauna because I do an hour 11 now.
Yeah, mean.
Yeah, just so like a lucky number, so just do it for a laugh. And then so I did that, and I was like, okay, if he's doing it, I'm gonna definitely get it back. I need to get one too, just so we vibe it.
Yeah. And so it's that like it's like, well, in a way, it's like a whole what's the word? There's a word I'm thinking of.
Community.
Yeah. It's like a whole community approach, but it's like it's fun.
It's fun,
like,
yeah.
It's real fun.
It is.
And there's a type of value you get from it, and that's just a sense of enjoyment.
You can start like any trend. You can jump on a Stairmaster and go and do 650 calories or 800 calories and go, your turn. And,
to be honest, if you probably tag me in that, I'll probably be like, fuck, congrats to you. I'm not gonna walk on the stairs, but congrats to you, bro.
But then you just hold them accountable till they get it out of them, just for a laugh. And then if they jump on a Stairmaster and they do half an hour, you just high five them and go, good work. You got there, Because there was one time we posted like an hour on the Stairmaster, and then next one I had like 3 or 4 of my mates going, I want to do an hour. I'm like, when? And I'm just like, when? I'll go, soon. I go, no, tell me a date. I'm just trying to get it out of them. And they're like, okay, tonight. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And then as soon as they did it, I'm like, how's it feel? Feel good? And I'm like, cup full, done. That's another, we got someone on there that wouldn't have thought they would have done that night.
Yeah, mean.
And so that's what, that's the vibe that you're trying to give out,
That's that value-based communication.
And it's nice. It's just a vibe, It's fun. Yeah.
I enjoy those moments though. Like when the fitness community just comes together, have a crack at it, have a laugh, and just like basically, what would you say? Just build on each other.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, just in terms of, now we're gonna bring it back to fitness related.
Okay.
In terms of someone who hasn't done, we'll just say, calisthenics. In terms of someone who hasn't done calisthenics before, what would be your top 3 tips to get started?
I think the top 3 tips to get started with calisthenics, I think the first thing is just like maybe practice your basic body weighted squat, press up, and maybe like bar hang or pull up, and then just have a go and see, and maybe record yourself and watch yourself and see where you're at, and then maybe do some good old Google search or YouTube search regards, okay, like, where you're at with your push up, go put how to get a good push up, how to get a good squat, how to get a good pull up, and then just like go into that and just see where they're at within their in their range, and then just get and try and master those 3 skills, and then they'll enhance into it there, but like, those are the like, body weight is a beautiful thing, and then mastering it is a beautiful thing. Making those things look smooth, because that means that if there is no gym, you have something that you can do to look after yourself, to move your joints, just to help you out for long life health,
So basically, the first step would be to get the basics down.
Basics down, definitely.
Get the basics, and then look at.
Basics. Record your form. And then obviously do some Google search. Google's there. Just ask questions to Google what you want to know, and then get them from there. And then if you can't find it, then obviously finding the right source through friends and stuff to get that.
Just to perfect the form and everything.
And like your friends will know how to push ups and all that stuff, so you can just get the right guidance. But definitely, but the number one thing is give it a go,
Give it a go.
Give it a nudge, like, because it is quite you can stand off it. It looks quite like, it's different. So but calisthenics is a community thing. It's a beautiful thing, And if you just keep practicing it, you'll just definitely
get it on the ball sometime,
100%,
In terms of your approach to nutrition and recovery alongside your workouts, do you have like a specific diet or a routine that you kind of go through?
So
you swear by, pretty much.
I swear by, like, so for myself, this is what I see is so I say food is energy, food is recovery. Okay, but if you want a clean look, you have to have clean food in your system.
100%.
Okay, so and that's I mean like you need to be aware of what you're putting into your body, and obviously if your bodybuilding is very different because it's very obviously like macros and calories orientated, but for general life and health, you know, and it really depends on what food you eat. So if you want some nice looking abs, you're gonna have to have some good looking nutritious food going into your body to get those abs.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and that's how I do it. So like for myself, I would like I eat very clean, like very healthy, and if I do eat off like off my basic stuff, like so, and that means I'm using it for a reason to recover my body or reset my system because I need to, because yeah. So for example, I'd probably just eat kurma, chicken, steak, hummus is a big one. I love hummus. Like it's just that's my sauce.
Yeah.
And broccoli, and then I'll just have like normal like butter, like not butter, but like it's a vegan butter.
Oh, mean.
Yeah, so I normally keep those three staples, and then I'll have chicken, cashews. Cashews is a big one. Blueberries, 100% superfood. It's cheap now, so you might as well use it. I'll put coconut water into my diet now because I just lose too much fluids.
From the sauna.
Yeah, from the electrolytes, so I'm sweating too much. And then yeah, and I just look at all those are the key things, and you know, and I just ensure I keep fueling myself with those foods. And then when I do, so I have a thing is when I go home to my family and stuff, I'll eat all my carbs there. So I eat a lot of white rice.
Yep.
As well, and that's all for fuel orientated. That's fuel based. So like, and white rice will probably make me gain about 2 or 3 kgs, and then I'll just jam it with that. But it's literally I'll figure out how much I've eaten, and then I'll just burn it because I know in my session I'm going to burn about like at least 600 calories to maybe 1,000. Sometimes I go above that. But it depends on your lifestyle, you know.
Yeah. 100%.
But the biggest thing I do say is just clean food, clean look. You know, and that's a big one. And if you just want to be healthy, then obviously you'll just have to stay within your calorie range and what that looks like. But I don't want to go too in depth because I'm not expressing that, you know, like
fair.
yeah, but yeah, I've just found that like the cleaner the food, the cleaner the look, you know. And if as long as your mind's healthy and your body's healthy and your training kind of links up with your food intake, you'll get the look you want, you know. If you're lifting heavy weights, then you're having more food, you know, like vice versa. Like, you know, if you want to lose weight, then you're obviously not much food and but more high intensity training.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of advice, what is one piece of advice you wish you would have known when you first started your fitness journey?
Fitness journeys, I think one piece of advice. I think how valuable water, food, and sleep is for your well-being. I think that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
And like, you know, because we used to think like, you know, I didn't really get told that, you know, everyone grows up drinking all sorts of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is like to live is you need your sleep, you need your water, and you need just some good food, you know, nutritious food, you know. And that's probably one of the biggest advices I didn't get, you know. I just got told eat as much as you can and train, you know, and like, you know, and then like it'll be like drinking this and that, you know. And like, but in the day, it's the basic stuff like just the water intake and all those things, you know. And and water is a beautiful thing. Like, man, if you just drink the right water and you drink it consistently, and you hydrate, and their mind's clear, that's the biggest thing, you know.
That's probably one of the drinks. Well, depending on who you are, like for me, water takes a hard time to kind of get used to. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll have water here and there, or if I'm in need. But majority of the time, is picking up an energy drink or something. But definitely, you'll probably have to. It's something like a habit you have to kind of create.
100%, yeah, because like everyone, you'll go through phases in life where it'll come into play sometime in your life, and you'll understand, and you'll know why you went to that phase, you know. And because like for myself, I'm quite in tune in depth with myself, how things make me feel. So if I have say a Celsius, like if I have that's which is it's a nice drink, and I have that, and then but what I'll do is I'll only have it before training, and I'll make sure I sweat it out, like it'll be cleansed out of me. So I'll make sure there's a sauna happening afterwards, or there's something happening, because I'll make sure it's all out of my system.
Sheesh.
So when I reset myself and carry on, and then I'll make sure that I'm putting good nutrients back in, you know, and this is just within my beliefs.
100%.
Myself, and then everyone has their own ways, and everyone has their set ways, and that's all good. But this is what works for me. Yeah. And this is what I do, and I've done it for so long that I feel safe doing this thing. This plan, and it makes me feel good, you know, because if I don't get it out, I know I'm gonna suffer. My sleep's gonna suffer. I know my heart's probably going to pump differently for a little bit, you know. So all these things that I'm aware of,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to feel uncomfortable, and my mind's not going to be calm because I know I haven't done that. You know, there's all these things that come into play,
Yeah.
and then it just makes me feel agitated, so I don't like that. So I just literally counter it all and just take it out of my system.
So that's what you kind of do. So once you finish it, you kind of know what to kind of take measures on in terms of like draining it out of your system, making sure that you'll kind of have all of that out for the next days for probably the next training day.
Training day, yeah. So like if I have a Celsius, I'll train, I'll make sure I sweat.
Yeah.
I'll probably go for a sauna as well.
Yes,
you know?
Sweat out all the toxins and everything.
Toxins, yeah. But if I train and I'm sweated enough and I'm quite fatigued, and then I'll be like, okay, all good. Then I'll just
that's kind of when you know it's like draining out of your system.
Yeah. But like I will generically drain it at the end of the day, but like, I'll try and have it like 2 hours before training. You know, unless I'm like on a rush or in the morning, that's okay because I can kind of get it out. But or otherwise it's just black coffee or
black coffee. I've seen you on the Celsius buzz though. You've been on the lately.
No, I drink those. So those are actually quite good. I actually have to stop. I told myself I'm going to stop now for a couple of weeks, but you know, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But they're good. They're really good. Yeah.
But in terms of like going back to the water and the nutritious food being like the one tip of advice, there's actually bringing us to our closing segment. I do kind of have a few lighter questions that I'm just going to give you. Basically, it's either short or one-worded answers that you can provide.
Yeah.
And it's just like a rapid fire question, basically.
Go for it.
So first questions first. What's your favorite exercise?
Exercise, I think, to be honest, burpee.
Burpee? Coffee or pre-workout?
Coffee.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Is slow down.
If you could train with any athlete, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Athlete, dead or alive, probably David Goggins.
Why is that?
Why? I just think it'll be good to see if how like just mentally challenge myself. You know?
What is the next big goal you're working towards in your fitness journey?
A fitness journey, I think I really want to master having a solid 6-pack to 8-pack for the whole year.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. So trying to have healthy abs all year round without depriving calories.
You already have healthy abs, bro.
Yeah. But like I really want to enhance it. Like I just enhance it and so was it fitness goal?
That would towards your fitness journey.
Fitness journey, yeah. And another one is there's the planche and there's the handstand press up. All those things I'm really working hard towards those, but it's a patience game. I have to be real, take it slow. Because otherwise I just won't get there, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And what is one thing most people don't know about you?
Don't know about me is, this is tough as well. It's quite tough. Yeah.
Yeah, the question, like generic, because I was like, I gotta make you try and think.
yeah. That's a hard question. It's a hard, don't know about me as well as I was once engaged.
Oh,
yeah. But this was years ago.
Yeah, that'd be another story for another day, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks. In terms of the questions that you did answer and everything that you kind of wrapped up, definitely love to see now I kind of get an understanding on the sleeper build himself, the Sauna King, kind of where the mentality strives from and kind of where you're going next in your fitness journey. But yeah, in terms of what we have for today, basically, I just want to say thank you, man. Thank you for the insight and everything, bro.
I appreciate you
definitely
too, brother.
Love the chat. And it's just good to see how you love to stay consistent, how you like to give value to other people, the community based on word of mouth, how you kind of put yourself out there. Just not to help yourself, but just to be there for the people. And in terms of how I see it, I definitely see it going places where I reckon it will flourish 100%.
Appreciate that, bro.
But in terms of you yourself, man, where can the people find you? Where can the people follow your journey?
Sweet. So yeah, you can jump on Instagram. If you follow me, that sleeper board, I think it'll be a tag.
Yeah, I'll tag it. I'll tag it.
And then just in general, or just at the gym or the sauna, just push through, and then you'll see me.
Love that. In terms of ending off this episode, I do want to say thank you again to our special guest. Our podcast this episode will probably varied on many other platforms that I'll put down below, Spotify, and also within Instagram, TikTok as well. But other than that, yeah, definitely love listening to the yarns, the chats, the informations, all the quality tips, and looking forward for the next, I'd say we'll give it about next year, maybe, or give a couple months. I definitely want to hear the story from 2025 to 2026. So definitely the next episode will be tuning in. But other than that, appreciate you guys. On to the next.
Thank you so much.